that throughout this diversified time, this time where everybody has very passionate feelings, I'm hoping that young people, as they grow older, will grow wiser and understand how they have been used by the left. That's something that Black people are still learning, but yeah, Black people have been used too. Young people are being used because basically they just want power and they don't have it, and it's really pissing them off right now. So we've got to keep going. We've got to keep going, keep it moving, because we cannot let their problems become our lifestyles. They like using words like lifestyles to explain away sinful living, basically, or whatever kind of living they want to have. But there is no such thing as morality on the left anymore. Schumer was seen on television in front of the Supreme Court building, actually, when they were protesting a vote in the Supreme Court about abortion. And he was threatening 2 Supreme Court justices out loud in front of everybody. Of course, he walked back on that and sort of apologized. We saw that on TV too. He basically said, "I'm sorry if I offended you." That's kind of a half-ass sorry. But he said, "I'm sorry if I offended you because I'm from Brooklyn and we just talk like that." Yeah, buddy. I don't know who votes for him. If he's from Brooklyn, does he represent Brooklyn? Is that who he represents? Because that man has a face only a mother could love. And Sanders too, Bernie Sanders, a face only a mother could love. I was looking at his face. They had I have a huge TV, and my grandson and I were looking at a picture of Bernie Sanders, and he's smiling, and it was horrible. I was like, oh my gosh, that's his money shot. That was his best picture that they could find. And I said, oh my gosh, this is a face only a mother or his mother could love, because I couldn't imagine looking at that face every single day. But then, you see his wife. She's not anything to write home about. But I wonder about her. I've got to learn something about Sanders' wife. I mean, what kind of person she is. They honeymooned in the Soviet Union, in Russia. And, for years, the last 3 years, we've been hearing Russia, 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 Russia. And now they want to elect a person who loves Russia, who basically is a communist. And Russia's trying to get away from being communist. But yeah, that's kind of weird to me. It tells me that not you, but the Democrats don't really believe in anything. They just want power. However they're going to get it. Hook, line, and sinker, they want power. And their power is in taking away your rights, taking away our guns. I got a new one for Christmas, by the way. Anyways, yeah, that's their power. That's taking away your rights. So, what's really funny is these bebop hip hop people, the ones that say, shoot the police. They have pictures of people shooting at police, shooting at the president. They hate the president. They hate the police. They have pictures of people aiming guns at the police. But guess who they want you to vote for? They want you to vote for somebody to take away your guns. So only the police have guns. So you hate the police, so you want the police to be the only ones that have guns? Oh my, that's crazy. That's crazy thinking. Okay, well, if that's what you guys want, but you're not taking my guns, you can take away your guns in New York and stuff like that. Look at those gun laws in Chicago. That's getting anybody anywhere. That's not getting anybody anywhere. Chicago's a mess. People are dying every week. Sometimes 30 people, from gang violence, drug violence. And I don't understand how these same people don't want that border closed when 90% of your illegal and illicit drugs come through the Mexican border. And they don't want a wall. They should want the wall more than anybody. I want the wall. I still want the wall. And I don't think it's tall enough, and I don't think it's thick enough. I want a wall. And I want any tunnel that they find, I hope they fill it with cement and water. Because, but people like that comedian, I'm not going to name his name, but he's always going, oh, we'll just, go through the tunnels. We'll just climb over the wall. He's not representing Mexican Americans. I know many, my friends are Mexican Americans, and they love this country, and they want a wall too. They want people to come in the front door, because we all have to pay for the ramifications of this. How many grandmothers are raising their grandchildren because of drugs? Either their kids are in jail or they're strung out on them. How many? How many is it going to take for you to understand, for all of us to understand? We need a barrier, a physical barrier, because our borders are a leaking sieve. Now, it has slowed down, I am so happy, dramatically, because of President Donald Trump. Slowed down because he's holding Mexico accountable. Because now it's not so much Mexicans coming into America. Mexico's kind of doing fine. But it's people from South and Central America coming through Mexico. And so Mexicans were kind of giving them a pass, giving them a little Kool-Aid stand on the way, like, you keep on going, keep it moving. And they just didn't care that they were coming into America, as long as they didn't stop in Mexico. But now that we're holding Mexico accountable, they are a lot more careful about how they're allowing this roadway into the United States. And they're a lot more careful. And I think this is the first president that has done that. He makes it look too easy. It makes me think the other presidents just really didn't care at all. Because they could have done this. My brother might be alive today if they'd have done this. This is something we have to do for our country. This is something we have to do for our children and our children's children. This is not something that has anything to do with someone's ethnicity or race. I'm a Black person who speaks Spanish because I learned from my friends. And I love my friends. And I don't understand how they try to turn everything into an issue of race. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. In fact, there's Africans who are going to South America so they can walk into America through the Mexican borders. And not only Africans, there's Arabs and all sorts of ethnicities and cultures. But because that's the easiest way to get into America, is just to walk across the border. So we're making it harder. And Trump is really working hard on that, because that is crucial to the survival of our country. We can't continue to absorb everybody else's problem. It's like buying a used car. I mean, I've lived in used cars most of my life. This is the first really new car that I had, and I've had it since 2013. I love my car. I have a Camaro because I like fast cars. But when my father would say, I don't know why you keep buying used cars. You're just buying somebody else's problem. Well, that's what we're getting through the border. We're not getting doctors and lawyers and dentists and people who are going to add something significant to our culture or our society. We're getting people who didn't make it in a country that's not doing right by them, or else they wouldn't be trying to get into here. But it's not our job to go and fix their country. That's what we've been doing, is giving money to all the countries that are sending people into our country. I don't know how they thought that was going to work. Just give them money and they'll stop coming. That was Obama's way. That was Bush's way. Everybody's done that. It's like Obama pays Iran because it's like giving somebody money so they'll like you. I don't want to have to pay somebody to like me, but you will respect me. That's how it's got to be. That's why I voted for Trump. Well, this is Kathy, if Kathy's right. Please stay with me. I have a lot to talk about. Oh, we've talked about Elizabeth Warren. Oh, Joe Biden. Oh, gosh, here we go. Joe. Poor Joe Biden. He is losing it. One thing about dementia, I'm not a doctor, but I'm 58 years old now. I've experienced friends, family who have gone through dementia. And it has been sad, and it's different in every case. Most people don't get diagnosed with Alzheimer's. People think everything's Alzheimer's, but they don't really usually get diagnosed with it until after they die. And then they say, oh, yeah, that was Alzheimer's. Now we can actually say it. But usually it's like dementia, they'll call it that. You're just sort of losing your memory. There's normal memory loss as you age. I have it. Everybody goes through a certain degree of it, some faster than others, and that's my point. The point is, with dementia, as we've seen, obvious with Joe Biden, it's something that can go to 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. Like my car. Yeah, it can go fast or it can go slow. I have one family member who, one moment she was lucid and she forgot a few things, and then a month later she didn't know who we were. And that is so sad to see. And we don't know how fast it's happening for Joe. We will know if they keep pushing him for this election. We will know that. And I feel sorry for his family. Actually, no, I feel sorry for Joe because I think they're propping him up kind of like the Weekend at Bernie thing. You ever see that movie, Weekend at Bernie's? That was a funny movie. But yeah, they kind of propped this dead guy up, pretend he was alive so they could have this weekend. So that's kind of what they're doing with Joe. And he's kind of a victim, kind of. They love victims, though. Democrats love people to be victims. But yeah, they're propping him up, and somebody else will be pulling the strings for sure. But his wife, who seems to love him, I mean, she's, duking it out on the stage. And every time somebody comes up there after her husband, she's the one you have to go through. And I would think that she would be fighting like the dickens for him to just be able to relax and enjoy the rest of his retirement. And instead of trying to rule the world, so to speak, on behalf of the Democrats. I fully expect Joe to challenge Bernie and or Trump to push-up contest, because that's coming next. That's what we've learned to expect from Joe. Well, let's do some push-ups. Let's meet out behind the barn. Joe, gosh. As much as I despised him at the beginning of this election, I kind of like him. I think it's sort of sad. I guess I've always liked, genteel people. He seems to be very genteel. He doesn't say a lot of really rough around the edges type of things, but there's also that sort of seediness, that sort of, he's always sniffing behind somebody's ear kind of dirty old man part about him that I never will like. But yeah, I feel bad for the Joe people. I fully expect him to challenge Trump or Bernie. I'd like to see that Joe Biden contest of push-ups. That would be a delight to see. Because, like I said, for a party that's been saying white men are the threat to America, they chose the oldest and the whitest men they could find to run for president. God help us all. This is Kathy at kathysright.com. Please subscribe, and I love you today. Go out and make it a wonderful day. It's brand new. Every day you're 6 feet above ground is a good day. So God bless and bye.